call the council meeting to order. Please stand for the pledge of allegiance and remain standing for a moment of silence for all our military personnel serving overseas. I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you.
Notice requirements of the Open Public Meeting Law have been satisfied concerning this meeting. The annual notice schedule was published in the Home News and Star Ledger on December 21st, 2018.
Yeah, that's
A
right.
copy of the schedule was posted on the municipal bulletin board. It should be so noted in the minutes of this meeting. Councilman Anderson?
Here.
Councilman Vaccaro?
Here.
Councilwoman Drum? Here. Councilman Small? Councilwoman Meehan? Here. Councilman Patel?
Here.
Councilman Bauer?
Here.
Council Vice President DeSantis?
Here.
And Council President Spiller.
Here.
May I have a motion to accept the minutes from the prior meeting of July 27th?
Motion.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any questions? Second reading ordinances. We have 6 second reading ordinances. The first one, A, amending ordinance chapter 28, sewers, section 8-1, public sewers and regulations. May I have a motion that the ordinance be taken up on second and third reading and the public hearing be opened?
Motion.
Second.
Any questions or comments from the council? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? The public hearing is now open. May I have a motion to close the public hearing?
Motion.
Second.
Any comments from the council? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? The public hearing is now closed. The ordinance is adopted and will be submitted to the mayor for approval as required by law. Ordinance B, ordinance adopting the amended Avenel Arts Village redevelopment plan. May I have a motion that the ordinance be taken up on second and third reading and that the public hearing be opened?
Motion.
Second.
Any comments from the council? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? The public hearing is now open.
Good evening, council members, administrative staff. Can we have an explanation of the amendment? Exactly what does that entail?
Amending the redevelopment plan for the Avenel Arts Village to include medical use.
Sorry?
To include a medical use.
To include?
To include a medical use for a tenant.
I'm still not following. You're saying medical use?
A medical use.
A unit?
To allow medical use in the structure.
Oh, okay. And that's the only change is allowing?
Yes.
Okay, and who's going to man that?
Whomever the,
I mean, do we have somebody coming over from the squad, or is it just equipment that's there? Or a room?
not the first aid squad, a private medical use facility.
A tenant.
Oh, that explains, well, that's a whole different story, okay. So somebody is actually going to be leasing space in
Right,
that?
in the commercial area.
Okay. And is that at 150 Avenel Arts Center, or is it somewhere else in the property?
It's within the redevelopment area.
Okay. Is that property the township owns?
That's
No.
No.
Who is the owner?
Of the tenant, it could be anybody.
Well, the tenant is obviously the leasee. Who's the leaseor?
I don't know the name of the entity.
No.
Then why is the township approving it? Isn't that a private deal?
We have to adopt the change to the redevelopment plan.
Thank you.
May I have a motion to close the public hearing?
Motion.
Second.
Any comments or questions from council? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? The public hearing is now closed. The ordinance is adopted and will be submitted to the mayor for approval as required by law. I'll do ordinance C, D, and E as consent. C is amending section 7-38-2 to delete several on-street parking locations. D is amending section 7-38-1 to add several locations designated as handicap parking spaces. E, amending section 7-17 to add no person shall park a vehicle on streets or parts of streets described within the following sections unless an appropriate and current parking permit has been issued by the township. For Judy Drive, municipal lot to include satellite lots, Dino Drive and Judy Drive. May I have a motion to take the ordinances up on second reading and third reading and that the public hearing be opened?
Motion.
Second.
Any comments from the council? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? The public hearing is now open. May I have a motion to close the public hearing?
Motion.
Second.
Any comments from the council? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? The public hearing is now closed and the ordinances are adopted and will be submitted to the mayor for approval as required by law. Ordinance F, lease agreement, 5-year lease, T-Mobile Northeast LLC. May I have a motion that the ordinance be taken up on second and third reading and the public hearing is open?
Motion.
Second.
Any comments from the council? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? The public hearing is now open. May I have a motion to close the public hearing?
Motion.
Second.
Any comments from the council? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? The public hearing is now closed and the ordinance is adopted and will be submitted to the mayor for approval as required by law. We have 4 first reading ordinances that would like to be done by consent. G, H, I, and J, published in the Home News Tribune on August the 9th, with notice of public hearing on August the 20th at 7 p.m. May I have a motion to introduce the ordinances?
Motion.
Second.
Any comments from the council? All in favor?
Aye.
The motion has been adopted. We have resolutions 1 through 27 as consent. May I have a motion to approve the resolutions?
Motion.
Second.
A motion has been made and seconded. Are there any comments from the council? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? So moved.
Thank you, Ms. Jackie. Before we move to the public portion of the meeting, I'd like to ask the mayor for our bi-weekly council agenda report.
Thank you, Council President. Despite being in the middle of summer, there were still plenty of events over the last 2 weeks in Woodbridge. Councilwoman Debbie Meehan sponsored her annual wiffle ball tournament to benefit Elijah Patino, a Ford's boy with a serious disease who this entire town has adopted. Other council members in attendance were Corey Spiller, Howie Bauer, and Nancy Drum. We installed adult exercise equipment in LeGrand Park in Avenel, led by Councilman Greg Ficarra and the Mayor's Wellness Committee. Greg actually picked out the equipment, shopped for it, did research in other towns, and did an awful lot of work to get that done, picked the spot, everything working with Public Works. And Councilman Corey Spiller and his entire family were in attendance using the equipment. We're hoping to install equipment in Tansman Park next in downtown Woodbridge. It really is beautiful to see that right there in LeGrand Park, which has just transformed that entire section of Avenel from what it was many years ago. Jenny Rosado and the David's Touch Foundation had their annual motorcycle run on Saturday with many council persons in attendance, including Corey, Lisbeth De Jesus, Debbie, and Nancy. The same morning, we kicked off the first annual Eric LeGrand Cornhole Tournament with 60 teams, sponsored by Dave & Buster's in Woodbridge Center, with Corey, Lisbeth, Nancy, and Kyle Anderson in attendance. Several councilmen played in the Buddy Bowl Golf Tournament yesterday, including Corey, Greg, Kyle, and Brian Small. Kyle also kicked off the Pop Warner football and cheerleading season, and there's over 250 kids participating in the Broncos program. Corey helped organize a spaghetti dinner at the Avenel Knights of Columbus. Councilwoman Drum spoke at both graduation ceremonies for the Woodbridge Junior Fire Academy. Nancy and Debbie attended a picnic in Woodbridge for the Killed in Action organization, which presented a flag to a Woodbridge resident who lost a family member in action, and we're going to actually work with that group to involve them in our annual fireworks. If you remember, a few years ago, we did World War II vets, then we did Korean, then we did Vietnam, then we did Iraq and Afghanistan. This year, we did first aid fire volunteers over 40 years. Next year, we're going to do anybody with a family member who is KIA and present them with a flag before our fireworks. Councilman Howie Barrow was on vacation for most of the last 2 weeks, but did attend the Ford's Business Community Car Show last night at Sipperstein's, and from what they tell me, it was the best one they've ever had. Councilman Ficarra and I also toured the JFK Johnson Rehab Facility in Edison to learn more about how we can expand their role in providing physical therapy at the club at Woodbridge. They have a fantastic facility, and they do great things for the community, and we're going to get much more involved with them. Thank you, Council President.
Thank you, Mary. Very nice report. I want to thank all my fellow council mates for another 2 weeks of hard work, so thank you. We will now move to the public portion of the meeting. Please approach a microphone if you'd like, state the area of the township you live in, and there is a 5-minute time here.
Good evening. Frank Trumbator, Ward 1. I'd like to speak about our cable provider, Comcast. In the last few months, Comcast has been playing some sneaky games. They have pulled a new station called XPHID, stuck it in the middle of their lineup. So those of us who were paying for the Platinum, which was to get all the pay-per-view channels, now had a brand new channel in the middle of it, and if we wanted it, it was going to cost us another $10 or more a month. Then we had all been paying for Cinemax, which is now gone. If you want Cinemax, you've got to pay another $12 a month to get Cinemax. Now, I understand this isn't important to a lot of people, but consumers in this town are being ripped off by Comcast, and I challenge this council to find an alternative to Comcast, because you can't be doing this to consumers. Unless some people get together and do a class action suit, that might work, I don't know, but I'm not suggesting it. Secondly, I'm aware, as we all are, that the township has a 10-foot setback from the curb. In plain English, they can do whatever they want. But I'm here for the residents that live at 183 Strawberry Hill, not me, and the ones that live at 173 Strawberry Hill. These are the corner properties that are on Anthony Court and Strawberry Hill. The township came in with a contractor to redo the sidewalk ramps and make the curbs bigger. What they did to these people's property is unconscionable. They ripped out their beautiful garden, their beautiful lawn, and now what they have is topsoil with grass seeds about 2 inches apart, and it's August. A lot of dirt, the topsoil's got wood in it, branches, twigs, garbage topsoil. The gentleman that lives at 173 is not sure that his underground sprinkler system was put in correctly, because one of the heads that is on the curb area, between the sidewalk and the curb, is actually crooked. His wife isn't speaking to him because he wasn't there to stop them, okay? Now, my wife has an English garden in the front, okay? If you guys did that to me, I would have to change my name and leave the country, because she would never give me rest. I think that if we are going to be decent people and govern this township, we should at least send a crew out there and put sod down, because that dirt with the next rain is going to be in our sewer system. It's not going to be on their property. Because if anybody, I've lived there for a long time, when that rain starts coming down that hill, there's a thing called gravity, and it takes down dirt that's well placed. So I asked this council to do something for these two citizens. It's horrible what was done to them. And I challenge any of you to drive by their house. Drive by it, take a look at it, see if you could put up with it. That's it.
Thank you.
Response necessary.
Good evening, everybody. John Rotaric, Woodbridge. Last couple of weeks, there's a lot of talk in the town about School 11. Would it be finished on time? Does anybody know?
You have to attend a board meeting, ask them. It's a school district matter.
We always talk about the improvements on the school, how well it's coming up. I thought you would know.
That is correct. It's some great
you-
improvements, but it's a
so you
school
don't know?
district.
School project, you have to talk to the school.
School project, yeah, but, okay, but you guys are taking credit for it because you say you're building it. You wouldn't even know if they can put solar panels on the top of it again, or you don't know that either?
Solar panels, yeah.
Well, the
Solar
old
panels.
square, the solar panels, right?
It's a Board of Ed issue.
So all of a sudden you don't want to talk about it, right?
There's nothing to discuss, Mr. Vitar. It's a Board of Ed matter if they were to decide to go that route.
You know, my memory is pretty good, but every time we come over here, you people brag about it, especially Councilman Small, how progress is made on school, how beautiful it looks. The mayor is walking through the school. Everybody else, what's coming up, all of a sudden, I mean, you got less than a month before schools open up. You don't know if the school will be open or not.
I just answered your question.
You know, answer the question, so it's
Yes, it
probably
is.
not. Another thing is, I understand lately in the town, we had a lot of incidences, especially where I live on Amboy Avenue and 35, a lot of speedings, a lot of crimes, a lot of broken windows. And it's not getting any better. Especially now that school is coming up, I would really appreciate it to put some more police on the 35, especially where schools are, to slow the traffic, because it's a lot of racing's being done, and I tell you, it's getting worse and worse. And unfortunately to say so, I don't see any local people, it's always outsiders that go through this town, and nobody stops them. So this is the time, I think, when we gotta make sure, because a lot of kids, especially kids that are not aware of it, the newcomers to this town, they're not aware of the high traffic and high speed. So please do something about it. It's very important. Thank you.
Thank you.
Good evening again, Tom Maris, Fords, New Jersey. Just a couple of quick updates. I see from the last meeting, the agreement with the WIC agency on Stern Towers has been executed, and I do have a copy of it. My lawyers looked it over, I've looked it over. We're still waiting for the judge to make a ruling on the 4-page list of redacted information. But in the information we did get on the actual agreement with WIC, we do note that the financing that WIC is obtaining, they are still redacting. I'm wondering why they're hiding. I think we are covering that up. Why aren't we allowed to find out who's backing them financially? It's a multi-million-dollar project. Interesting, and we can talk about it further at another time. The other big one I'm interested in is going back to Avenel, Arts Village, Arts, whatever you want to call it, at 150 Avenel Street. In looking through and finally getting a lot of the Oprahs, as you brought out last time, Council President, that's the only way you can get some answers sometime, is to get into the weeds, and that's what we've done. And looking through that, we see that yes, there is an agreement for rental on the property for $1 a year for 50 years, then that goes between Woodbridge Township and the Woodbridge Arts Alliance. Mayor McCormick at that time said Carolyn Ehrlich, who was his chief of staff and head of redevelopment as well for this township, was just a member of the trustees. She is in fact the president of that organization, and it is an incorporated. In addition to the $1 a year that they'll be paying for the property, it does call for, after a period of 1 year, that the township will review their records and charge them a 5% fee on their gross earnings. So again, I would think that somewhere along the line, the township, while they have said in the past have no records of any financials, at some point in time are going to start having records on the financials, at least if they hope to collect their money. I do think there's a conflict of interest, her being the head of the redevelopment approving a lot of what the construction was at that site. It does say, too, that the township will provide necessary work capital to the WAA, which is Woodbridge Arts Alliance, to cover direct costs associated with startup operations at the Avenel Arts Center, that they'll purchase the food. In other words, they're front-ending all of the cost. And from what I can primarily tell, it's at least $6 million. And yet again, when I asked for the records of how that money was being spent, there were no records. It is highly questionable. I think anybody with a reasonable sense of intelligence would say, where did it go and why isn't it being recorded? Add to that the property that Woodbridge Township is leasing to the WAA. On the tax rolls, 150 Avenel Street is still owned by an LLC called Victoria Classics. I have not been able to obtain, at least not to my knowledge, a copy of the agreement that the township may hold with the owner of that property as far as the tax rolls are concerned. Although I do note that they have not paid, they being Victoria's Classic, taxes on the property since about 2012. I'm sorry, 2014. They paid $17,983, but then nothing beyond that. Is there a reason why they're not paying taxes on it? And who owns that property?
To my knowledge here, Victoria Classics is...
That all the information is available in the tax office.
I got it from the tax office, and that doesn't say anything. It stops right here. Here's a copy of the printout, Mr. Mayor, and it doesn't show. So I'm asking you, do you have an agreement, the township, with Victoria Classics?
You asked for a copy of an agreement, and you did not get one, so that means we don't have one.
Okay, then how are you renting that property, subleasing it to the Arts
Mr.
Alliance?
Maris, you need to put your questions down. You need to ask for documents, which you have done. You asked for 12 documents.
Right.
We answered your questions.
I didn't get that
If you want
one.
other documents to indicate who owns the property, you know how to do this. You go to the tax office. You've been doing this for 10 years and costing the taxpayers of this township probably a couple $100,000.
And probably saved them a lot more with those stuff I've caught, too. Remember the animal shelter, the one that didn't have any problems? Just to name one. Remember Avenel, Colonia First Aid Squad, the doors will never
Oh,
open
you're
again?
beautiful there.
Yeah,
You're supporting
I know.
those guys.
We
That
know,
was great.
We know. Thank you. Thank you very much. My 5 minutes, not yours. But again, I just want the public to know that you're not providing the records and that this is going to be looked in way beyond this venue. Thank you.
If you ask a question, we provided the record.
Before we move on with the public portion, Ms. Robert, you want to say something? The ordinance? Oh, I'm sorry. Council Vice President Jesus.
Regarding the ordinance, the parking in Judy Drive and Dino Drive, quiero informarles a los residentes de Caseby que hemos pasado la ordenanza sobre el parqueo en Judy Drive y Dino. Si esperan después de esta reunión, cuando terminemos, yo hablo con ustedes y les puedo explicar y contestar sus preguntas. Thank you.
Thank you. That's okay. Thank you, Council Vice President. Well, now we'll continue with the public portion. Seeing none? Ms. Jackson? Close out.
I have a motion to end the public portion of the meeting.
Motion.
Any comments from the council? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Thank you, Ms. Jackie. We'll now move to the agenda portion of the meeting. On my agenda, item number 2, I'm happy to announce that APAC, Avenel Performing Arts Center, is now offering ticket packages. Residents can purchase a 3-show bronze package for $90, a 5-show silver package for $140, and a 7-show gold package for $175. Take advantage of this great deal by visiting www.avenelarts.com, or you can contact the business office at 732-314-0500, or you can also visit the box office at APAC, which is at 150 Avenel Street. Also at APAC, go to the website and check out Curtains. They got a brand new seafood menu. A lot of us tried it out last week. Fantastic. So the theater and the restaurant are doing quite well. Item number 9, Avenel Fire Department. I wish I don't have to keep saying this, but I want to thank the Avenel Fire Department. We were working at a very large fire. It's 7 Seat Terminal Way last Wednesday, July 31st. It involved several 53-foot trailers with uncut fragrances, which is extremely volatile, numerous explosions. So we're out there a very long time, second fire in 2 weeks. I want to thank them as well as all the mutual aid surrounding departments that came. The rest of my agenda is in order. Council Vice President DeJesus.
Thank you, Council President. Item number 9 on my agenda, the Barron Arts Center. The Barron Arts Center has the Artist Exhibit of the Year, Stephen Kager, Pocono Plateaus and Plus, on view August 22nd through September 22nd. There's an opening reception held August 22nd from 7 to 9. Stephen Kager is predominantly a landscape painter known for his charming acrylic paintings of the Poconos in the Four Seasons. Also, vendor registration is still open for the 12th Annual Barron Fest Woodbridge Fine Arts and Crafts Festival, which will be held October 12, 2019, from 12 to 4:30 at Parker Press. Again, call the Barron Arts Center if you're an artist interested in participating at 732-634-0413. Item number 10, the library news. The library's summer reading program, Family Fun Fair, will be held on Saturday, August 17th at the main library from 11 to 1 p.m. Branch libraries will be closed on the 17th to join the celebration. Team volunteers are collecting school supplies in the children's department at the main library and all branch libraries until August 29th for the township backpack giveaway on September 1st. Again, this is an event where we distribute backpacks with school supplies to township residents. Again, that event will be September 1st in Caseby. So if you would like to donate any school supplies, visit any of our libraries in the children's department. That is all that I have. Thank you.
Thank you, Council Vice President DeJesus. Councilwoman Meehan.
Thank you. I'm going to go down to item number 1, Inman Avenue Business District improvements. I'm happy to report, after a long wait, the traffic light on Delaware and Inman Avenue, which is a busy intersection by a school, is set to begin construction right after Labor Day. The light on Lancaster Avenue and Lake Avenue is constructed, and it's just waiting for PSC&G to turn that on, so that should start flashing within 2 weeks, and it should be fully functional by then. Going down to number 10, Veterans Issue. On August 17th from 2 to 9 at the Isla Knights of Columbus, we will be hosting the 2nd annual Dan Osborne Barbecue in his memory. Dan passed away 2 years ago after battling cancer, and even when he was sick, he gave so much to the Woodbridge community, especially to Buddy Ball. Tickets are $20, which includes 3 live bands and food, and there'll also be a cash bar. All proceeds for this event will be donated to Luke Lyons, a U.S. Marine who is battling cancer, the Young Marines of Woodbridge, and Menlo Park Veterans Hospital. For tickets or more information, you can call Chris Lyons at 908-587-6224. And I just want to thank everyone that came out for the 12th annual Wiffle Ball tournament that we held this past Saturday for Eliza Pantino, an 8-year-old boy from Fords who's fighting a very rare autoimmune disorder. Elijah's been in the hospital and in solitary for the better part of this year and was discharged 3 weeks ago. Saturday was one of the first times he was allowed to be by other people, though he did have to fist pump and wear a mask. He had an amazing day riding his new bike from Director Simaluka, who stopped down to bring him a bike. The Clooney Fire Department came down to give him a ride, and not to be outdone by the fire department, the police department came down to let him play in the car. It was just simple little acts of kindness that really made this little boy's day. So many people stopped by to give donation, from the mayor to members of our council to the Fords Fire Department. More than I can say, there was a woman that came down, saw little Elijah, a cancer survivor herself, and went back and got a check to help support the family. So from the bottom of my heart, I want to thank everyone that helped support this family, and just to tell you how amazing it is when a community comes together to do acts of kindness. We get so much done, and my councilmates can attest to that because they all do good things for people in this community. So thank you for everyone that came down, and have a safe summer and a happy summer. That's all I have.
Thank you, Councilwoman Meehan. Councilwoman Drum.
Thank you, Council President. The St. James Street Fair is a save the date. It's September 21st, right here on downtown Main Street, with the rain date of the following Saturday. They are looking for some vendors. They're celebrating their 30th year here in Woodbridge downtown. If you are interested, you can email S as in Sam, F as in Frank @gmail.com, or call 732-634 0500 extension 105. They're also looking for some bands if they'd like to play during the street fair, and they're asking them if they could come and donate a set or two to play. Number 4, the SID, the Downtown Main Street Special Improvement District, had a meeting last week and had lengthy discussions to make improvements as well as plan to bring more foot traffic to the downtown Main Street by coming up with some ideas to create destinations for people to come to, perhaps a guitar player or stuff like that. So all that's in the works. Number 9, the Main Street and Route 9 mural project, Upper Main Street near the bowling alley, is now complete. It's absolutely beautiful, so make sure you give it a stare when you go by. The Statue of Liberty and the bald eagle, along with all different flags, and we appreciate all the work of Kim, the artist, who's done many murals here in our township. So, number 5, the Chamber of Commerce is hosting the 20th Annual Mayor's Breakfast Summit, Friday, September 27th at Colonia Country Club. The topic is optimizing health and wellness in the workplace, and we have 4 guest speakers, and our Chief of Staff, Carolyn Ehrlich, will be moderating that. And the Chamber is also recognizing business and community leaders at its 55th Annual Chairman's Awards Dinner on October 16th at the Renaissance Hotel, which is now the Delta Hotel. This year's honorees are Debbie Meehan from the Woodbridge Corner as Citizen of the Year, Brian Malloy from Willents, Goldman and Spitzer, Corporate Citizen of the Year, Marta Darden, Member of the Year, individual category, Paul Agruda from Mulberry Street, Member of the Year, business category, Barbara Zanzalari from Century 21 will be recognized as the Small Business of the Year, Hank Hart from the Woodbridge Elks, the Frank G. Pelsman Community Service Award, Daniel Dunn from Post 87, I believe, is receiving the Carol Hilo Humanitarian Award, Kimberly Zagiden, she's the artist who is doing the murals. She will be the recipient of the Business Education Partnership Champion. Rissa Kwaza from the Woodbridge Perth Amboy Rotary will be receiving the Paul Harris Award. If anyone is interested, please contact the Chamber to get your tickets at 732-636-4040, and there's also sponsorships available. The Chamber is also in the process of planning Woodbridge Restaurant Week, which will be November 11th through November 17th. That's all I have, Council President.
Thank you, Councilwoman Trump. Councilman Anderson.
Thank you, Council President. I have 2 categories I'd like to mention in regards to our jobs and our local employment opportunities. We have, the township is hiring some part-time crossing guards as we are approaching the school year beginning. There are various locations and hours, and they're beginning at $13.54 an hour, and the department is the police traffic maintenance. And the requirements are just good communication with the public, a valid New Jersey driver's license, and a background check. Also, we have the 2020 census jobs are available. If you go onto the website, you can click right on their link. And locally, we do have, the township is hiring still for some seasonal summer employment. Chicken Galore is now hiring, looking for cook and counter positions. RSI Bank has several positions. They have back office, call center representatives, bank tellers, and assistant branch supervisor. FedEx is hiring as well, starting at $15.35 an hour. And Avenel Performing Arts, you can go to jobs@avenelarts.com. They have positions of servers, bartenders, cooks, hosts, kitchen help, ushers, and ticket takers in the theater. I'd also like to acknowledge the Eric LeGrand, as Mayor McCormick mentioned. The Eric LeGrand Cornhole Tournament was held in front of Dave & Buster's at Woodbridge Mall. There were over 60 teams there. I just want to congratulate Eric and his team, Team LeGrand, and also thank Dave & Buster's for providing that space, and also the Christopher Reeve Foundation for the, as Eric has had his own accident, he's actually actively raising money for others. So this is a person who's turned a terrible situation, but he's turned that into a very reflective and giving back to the community and to those in need. Regarding WTYRC, I do want to mention that we have merged our youth basketball program in the Woodbridge Rec Department. Some of you may know we have been trying to merge some of our programs as participation has dropped down. Part of that reason is different travel leagues have kids have been going to different travel leagues, so we don't necessarily need to have a youth league in every section of town as we did back in the 60s and 70s and 80s. But we are still trying to make sure that we continue to give the kids a great environment for them to participate, compete, and learn the fundamentals of basketball. So the Colonia and Woodbridge League have now merged, and there will no longer be a Colonia and Woodbridge League. It will be one Woodbridge Township Rec Youth League. And this is after the hard work of several individuals in the rec department. And I'd like to mention Mr. Simaluka, Mr. Molnar, Mr. Crocker, Mr. DeJesus, Councilman Ficarra, our own coach at Woodbridge High School, Bobby Tominski, have been very instrumental in making sure that we continue to give a great, thriving basketball league for our youth, and it will also make good use of our facilities for Woodbridge Township. And that's all I have. Thank you.
Thank you, Councilman Anderson. Councilman Ficarra.
My turn already. Couple of quick things. First of all, the Woodbridge Community Center, I'll spare you all the good stuff there if you just go to njwcc.com. You know, we're on the south side of summer vacation now, so some of the students are mad because they got to go back to school, but there's a lot of parents that are happy because the students are going back to school. But things at the community center are still heating up and going very well, so get to that website or go pay them a visit. Senior Olympics, by now you know, are September 6th through the 8th throughout our town. You can go to NewJerseySeniorOlympics.com and still register. As I've mentioned for the last few meetings, Woodbridge residents can sign up for 3 events for just $5 and save a lot of money. So that's a great opportunity for Woodbridge residents. If you're a senior, and remember, senior in the New Jersey Senior Olympics is 50 years and older. A couple of big events coming up. First, on September 1st, which is the Sunday before Labor Day, is the Crossroads race, and that'll be down at the waterfront at Alvin P. Williams Park. And then the last Sunday in September, which is September 29th, is the annual bike tour. That's about our 12th event. Also, just a couple of quick announcements. First, congratulations to Councilwoman Meehan on your well-deserved selection in the Chamber Awards. Just an announcement, and I would have more details if I didn't leave my darn phone at home, but Councilman Anderson is being honored by the Boy Scouts of America Patriot Council as one of their Citizens of the Year, and I'll have more information on that. And then finally, okay, sorry. I'll bring it up the next time, but congratulations.
Pass it back.
And then just finally, Council President, I couldn't help, I do understand that speeding on our roads is an issue at times, but I must tell you, the last 2 days I was doing my usual walk, and I happened to notice cars pulled over on Amboy Avenue, Route 35. This morning, there must have been some type of plan over on North and South Park on one of the cut-through streets, because I noticed a lot of police activity there with people that are speeding. We have hundreds of miles, I would guess, director of roads, so I know it's hard, and we keep, you only see the speeders when there's no one around. But what I saw the last 2 days, I think we're doing a really good job. So thank you for the time.
Thank you, Councilman Ficarra. Councilman Small is excused. Councilman Patel.
Yes. Thank you, Council President. My agenda is in order. I have a few announcements. Fry Branch Senior Center, located at 1 Brown Avenue, East Lynn, will have their barbecue luncheon on this Friday, August 9th, from 12 noon to 3 p.m. Also this year and this Sunday, August 11th, 2019, Indian Business Association is organizing India's Independence Day Parade on Oak Tree Road between Wood Avenue and India Square, which is located by the Middlesex Avenue. Because of this parade, portions of Oak Tree Road will be closed from 2 p.m. to 9 p.m. between Wood Avenue and Middlesex Avenue. Woodbridge Township police officers will be guiding and diverting traffic in the area. If you are going to be in the area, you are going to experience some traffic delays. Please follow the police officer's instructions and follow the appropriate detours. Also, the following Sunday, which is on August 18, 2019, Pakistani community of New Jersey is organizing Pakistan's Independence Day Parade on Oak Tree Road between Middlesex Avenue and Wood Avenue. Portions of Oak Tree Road will be closed from 12:30 p.m. to 4 p.m. between Middlesex Avenue and Wood Avenue. Again, Woodbridge Township police officers will be guiding and diverting traffic in the area. If you are going to be in the area, you are going to experience some traffic delays. Please follow the instructions of the police officers and follow appropriate detours. That's all for tonight. Thank you, Council President.
Thank you, Councilman Patel. Councilman Bauer.
Thank you, Council President. My agenda is in order. As I have one announcement tonight. The Forest Claremont Baseball League online registration for the 2019 fall baseball season is now open. There's 3 divisions: T-ball, ages 4, 5, 6. Their minor divisions, 7, 8, 9-year-olds, and their major divisions, 10, 11, and 12-year-olds. There will also be available in-person registration at Forest Park, which will begin on August 28th, 6 to 8 p.m., September 5th, 6 to 8 p.m., and September 10th, 6 to 8 p.m. You can visit their website at www.leaguelineup.com/FCBBL, or if you have any questions, you can call 732-841-0079. That's all I have tonight. Thank you, Councilman.
Thank you, Councilman Bauer. Ms. Jackie.
My agenda is in order. I have nothing tonight, thank you.
Thank you. Senator Bennett.
Thank you, Mr. President. We will be asking for a resolution to award a proposal for a land surveying service, and the rest of my report is housekeeping in nature.
Thank you, Senator. Director Hubbard.
Thank you, Council President. I have just one item. That's the addition of the handicap parking space and boards. Thank you.
Thank you, Director. Director Green.
I don't have anything tonight. Thank you, Council President.
Thank you, Director. Director Samaluka.
Nothing tonight, thank you, Council President.
Thank you, Director. Director Thornton.
Thank you, Council President. Nothing this evening.
Thank you, Director. Thank you, Director.
Council
Director
President, nothing tonight.
Sorry.
Nothing tonight, thank you.
Legal?
Nothing tonight, Council President.
For motion?
Motion.
Second.
Motion adjourned. Have a good evening.